Hi, this is Mary Adams, and today I'd like to talk about 3 simple steps that you can use to model sustainable value creation in your organization. Now, in my last post, I defined sustainable value creation using the concept of the multi-capital model. So the idea that corporations own or have access to multiple forms of capital, and while they use these to drive performance and profit in their organization, they also have to take responsibility for preserving and protecting these capitals over the long run, whether they're owned tangible assets, whether they're intangibles inside their organization, or they're external forms of capital like social and natural resources. So this is a really interesting idea and very powerful, but so far we're just talking about theory. I'd like to help talk you through a process to get to the kind of more concrete version of this definition. So the first step would be to take an inventory. If you think about capital, the most recognizable form of capital is money, right? But if you were an accountant, it wouldn't be enough to just say, we have $1 million or $100 million. You would want to track where it is and have a clear list of those locations and how much is in each place. And that's really what we need to do with the capitals. Maybe not that granular, but if you want to talk about what your capitals are, you really need to make a list and understand the key forms of capital you have. It's not enough to just say we have people. You want to begin to make that more real and track it in a consistent way. And of course, most organizations have a lot of these types of inventories, but they're spread out across the organization and they're not in one place, and they're certainly not seen as part of a whole system. And that's why the next step really needs to be to map these capitals. And at this point, for most organizations, this is a pretty conceptual thing still, but just drawing a picture of some of the basic interrelationships between capitals can be very important. A really simple example is the company Costco. They're known for paying their people better than market wages. And the reasons they do that are related to reduced turnover, higher employee engagement, which leads to better customer service. It leads to better operations in the stores, so it drives both revenues and costs. So there's a logic there and a connection, which they may or may not draw, but if you sit down and kind of start mapping the connections between your capitals, you're going to be able to make a better case about how it works, and you're going to know then the third step of what's important to measure in your organization. So each of these steps has a number of intricacies, and I'm going to go into them in more detail. In the meantime, I invite you, I'm going to do that in future posts. So in the meantime, I invite you to visit smarter-companies.com and check out the content there. And if you want, you can subscribe on YouTube to this video blog so that you don't miss the next episode. Hope to see you soon.